Hey everyone, Miacidae here, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. Today on the No Hope Estate, we're going to be stepping back into the Farmstead to fight the Time-Warped Miller, the champion version of the Farmstead Plus Miller. Mainly just because we have just a few bosses left, and I figured it was about time to start boss rushing them, and they had this kind of fun Heroes ring that gives plus accuracy and virtue chance. It is kind of a fun ring to kind of just push the envelope on plus virtue chance. Not that we can get 100% virtue chance, but it can push things in our favor. Then we also get the Miller Scythe, which will be useful on some other bosses coming in the future, which gives us plus damage versus size 2, and will allow us to bypass guard, which is the more important part. So that being said, let's get into the group and then go and fight the boss. So today we're actually bringing Yugi, the Oni, back. She is going to be one of our two bigger tanks here, and the bigger thing about her is she's going to have a permanent riposte because of the Ibaraki in row here. She gets a plus 12 crit, minus 35% damage, but anytime she attacks and all of her skills are attacks, she gets a riposte for 2 rounds. So as long as she's not stunned, she keeps on getting a riposte. And for her skills here, we have Obliterate, so as long as she is marked, she gets plus 35% damage or 10 accuracy, and the bonuses also apply to her riposte. So because she's marked, she's more likely to be hit, and then therefore more likely to riposte. Shattering Roar works the same, it's just a back row hit. We have Inexorable Advance, which marks her. Usually this would also stun, it's just we took the stun off for this estate because it's against the rules to stun. And then we have Mountain Break. This moves her forward by 2, this does armor piercing and does plus 60% damage and accuracy versus size 2. If we use this, those bonuses also apply to the riposte. For her other trinket, we have the Hero's Hairpin. This gives her armor piercing, so we're not relying on the Mountain Breaker for armor piercing. It also gives all of our melee skills plus 25% damage. That's everything other than Shattering Roar. It also gives her plus stun chance, which would be good for Inexorable Advance if I was allowing it to stun. However, her ranged skills, which is once again Shattering Roar, would get minus 9 crit. Next up we have Huang Qi, my Martial Saint. He's here for damage versus marked, which we have a few people that will be either marking or doing damage versus marked, so he kind of goes well into this kit. Ager Dragonclaw here does extra damage versus anything that's above 80% health, and extra damage versus marked. Feign Retreat will give him a riposte, lowering the target's dodge. Ager Dragon's Ascent does high crit and high damage versus anything that's marked, doing more damage the farther back the target is, doing the least damage against row 1, doing the most damage against row 4, and has higher crit the farther back he is. So it will do the most crit if he is in row 4, and the least crit if he is in row 1, and this will also move him forward into row 1, but can be used from any row onto any row. And if this takes out a monster, this will buff the entire party, including him, for plus 1 speed and 5 accuracy for 2 combats, and can be done up to twice a combat. For his trinkets, we have Wolf's Tassel. This gives him plus 2 flat damage and plus 2 damage versus anything that is marked, and makes it so he cannot be marked. For his last skill, we have Towering Presence. This is great in the front rows because it gives him a block, and especially on this estate, it makes it so that he's not taking damage because I can't heal. Then it buffs the rest of the party for plus 30% damage. For his trinkets, we have Wolf's Tassel. This gives him plus 2 damage, plus 2 more damage versus anything that's marked for a total of 4 damage, and then he cannot be marked, which is great because realistically, I don't want him being marked. Then we have the red hair giving him plus 6 speed, making him go very quickly, minus 20% damage. However, on monster kill, he will get an extra action. That extra action comes at a extra minus 60% damage though, so it's usually best spent on Towering Presence, unless there is a target with very, very low health. Next up we have Helker, my Arbiter. He's here pretty much for Raptorial Nature. Raptorial Nature gives him plus 30% damage reflect and a riposte. However, I do have Lightning Hands for an extra damage, but this has to go at something that is marked. We have Eagle Eye to up accuracy and damage on someone, also allowing them both to ignore stealth, and Protection Detail to guard an ally, giving him more protection and dodge, lowering the crits received on Helker. For his trinkets, I wanted to try something new here. So I'm going to be a little risky and try the Self-Aware Body Armor. This doubles Helker's health, the Arbiter. So instead of 50, he's going to have 100 health. However, it comes with a few downsides. He's going to have minus 80% healing received. That means I can't heal with food or any curios in the dungeon. Unless his... well, I can, but it's going to be very, very diminished unless his HP is below 50%. So until his HP gets below 50, I realistically can't heal him. But this also means I get plus 40 more damage reflection. So after 2 raptorial natures, he has 100 damage reflection. And because of very high health pool, he's going to be reflecting all of that almost all the time. Then every time he's hit, he's also going to blight the target 1 for 1 round. We then also have Murderer's Mark, upping his melee accuracy, which is Raptorial Nature. Raptorial Nature gets plus 20% damage, and on riposte hit, he will up his own damage as well. Finally, Corsi, my Occultist. He is my Mark bot. We are using him for Vulnerability Hex. This lowers the target's dodge and marks them. Once everything is marked, I either have Demon's Pull, Abyssal Artillery, or Weakening Curse to lower their damage and protection. For his trinkets, we have the Cursed Incense, upping his debuff chance, so he pretty much will be debuffing all the time, and on range hit will up the damage the target receives, meaning I take them out all the faster. And then just because I did want someone with Scouting Chance, we have the Ancestors map, just to make it so I don't get surprised as often. So with that being said, let's go into this and see what I can get. I'm going to be taking all the food once again because that is realistically the only way I am going to heal. I don't need that many torches, but they will help with my accuracy. I am going to take some holy waters just for the resistances. We are going to take all the Laudanum. And otherwise, let's see here. I can take an Anathenum for the debuffs, and that's going to go on Corsi. We can take some red seals because I haven't taken these in a while. Probably only need 1 for the boss if I'm being totally honest. We'll take 2 just in case I run into one of the Cavarots. And then we'll let the other ribbons build up. The Miller's mind has been twisted beyond time and space. He believes he is still tending to his crops and will ceaselessly reap whatever comes in his path. Alright, so Anathenum on Corsi, this ups his debuff chance even further. So Vulnerability Hex is realistically going to be around a 185 chance, so there should be almost no reason to have that resisted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's a few spots this could be. Let's go to upper right and then just work from there. It could be this upper right, it could be this one here, it could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it could be upper right, it could be upper left, it could be lower left here. So I'm going to start upper right, go upper left, then this lower left. I think someone told me at one point that the boss favors the lower right, and then I'm just going to work my way counterclockwise and see how this works. Definitely taking the comet shards. We'll take the crusts, leave the gold. More comet shards. Definitely taking those.
Waiting to be spent.
I do need the portraits more than the crusts, so I'll switch those out. Actually, what I can do is stack up the food and take the crusts as well. Moving on up. By anti-venom this, I get a little more food. Can take the crusts and move on along, and then we should have our first battle right here. So I'm not sure what champion really adds to the courtyard. I think there's one enemy in particular, but beyond that, I'm not entirely sure. We will do Towering Presence for the Aegis and the damage on everyone else since it got the extra action just for taking out the Vine. Vuln Hex on Farmhand.
Well struck.
Then we can Inexorable Advance him. Eagle Eye for the plus accuracy here. Hoping for a Lightning Hands crit to take him out.
Surges as the enemy
So I was hoping to Raptorial Nature and get one of the vines, but that didn't work.
Obliterated.
Well, at least we get the riposte. And down goes the vine. Oh, almost had them. Vuln Hex on the farmhand. And we can Ascension here.
Decimated.
That's going to give us plus speed plus accuracy.
Press this
We can leave that default order
no quarter.
and see what we get again.
Hacks
And just
laden
take all that.
with loot
Cool.
Are often low on supplies.
So I'm going to go right just to clear this side up, and then we'll go. Like I was saying, though, I'm not entirely sure what Farmstead Plus adds for champion enemies. I think the Miller's Wife might be the only one. I could be very wrong, though. We might have a chance of taking out the Sleeper's Harbinger.
Destroy.
That gives us another buff. And then Towering Presence again.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Oh, no riposte yet. And then, of course, they keep going for her. Okay, so this way we can hit the Scarecrow. I'm going to Lightning Hands the Farmhand. But then Raptorial Nature the Scarecrow because he's one of the only people that can hit it so far. Okay, Asia Dragonclaw Farmhand.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Gonna claw on the vine just because nothing else to do. Taking a chunk out of it. Vuln Hex it so I can Lightning Hands it. Yikes. Damage Reflection, go.
Is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Just so I'm not blighted. And bonk.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Definitely healing up on Yugi. Default order. And let's get some more shards. We can leave the Medic's Greaves, they're not useful.
Task well performed.
Hunger check, heal up a tad. Surprised that healed Helker for, like, anything. Horror Charm isn't useful. That's an empty room, so we're going to go to the left. Just to save supplies and not use the obstacle. So that means it's either this room to the upper left or down here. Shard Mercenary fight. Fun. And as long as it's not the Jester, right? If I Ascension, I probably don't take anyone out. So let's Claw. I'm not going to take anyone out unless I crit. So let's got the Crusader. Because he has an action, is what I'm thinking there, and then therefore I can maybe take him out before he goes. Eagle Eye, just so Yugi gets extra accuracy here. Raptorial, let's go Crusader again. Get that Reflect going, get the riposte up. We're gonna Vuln Hex, lowering the dodge on the anti for later. That we can also Lightning Hands him. Minus crit plus crits received. Ooh. And if I just obliterate, I get my riposte, I don't get marked, and I probably take Crusader out. Ascension, we probably take out Anti.
Precision and power.
Extra action if we claw the Grave Robber. Let's up everyone's damage. Lowering dodge on Mercenary Grave Robber. Marking it so we do more damage. I'm gonna obliterate. Actually, what would this do? I actually have a chance to take out the Occultist with Mountain Breaker. Let's do it. It was a chance, a very small chance, and I'm pleasantly surprised. And there goes the Grave Robber. Okay, cool.
Success
Take what we can.
clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
So basic in row, minus stress if red seal is in inventory. I have a red seal, but otherwise plus 2 speed. There's the virtuous padlock, so plus 7 speed, or plus 7 accuracy, plus 7 crit if virtued, plus armor piercing while virtued, minus stress received, minus stress relief received on monster kill, plus virtue chance for the entire quest. But we probably should heal a bit. Okay, so boss is down here. So I should probably beeline it to that, then go and do everything else. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave all this. Grab the Comet Shards from the
stuff is only the
guy.
first test.
Pop to the left, get the curio, because this might be food, which it was. Grab the food, go back, and then beeline it down where I've already gone. And then once we do the Miller, we can go back and do everything else here. If supplies and everything allow. Alright, who's good with traps? 60, 70, got a 90, got a 95. Take the 95 guy actually, because they have the most stress. Pleasantly surprised. Okay. What do we get here? This is usually a curio or something, or a trinket. Don't really want anything here. I'm not getting rid of supplies. That would be silly of me. What I can do is, because there's only 2 battles before the boss, is I could camp. It's not going to let me camp to get space for any of these. But I can camp here. So I get the bonuses for the 2 fights and then the boss. So let's look at what we got here. I have Coven Tactics, so that's speed, dodge, crit, damage. Sharpen the Claw would be amazing on Huang Qi. All companions get accuracy dodge. That would keep us alive. Dodge protection with Oath of Brotherhood. So between those two, I could get 17 dodge for 8 cost. I do have a prevent nighttime ambush. Okay, cool.
A moment of respite.
Yeah, Feast for the Health and the Stress.
Steel oneself against the
Unspeakable
common
Commune is the only prevent nighttime ambush I think I have. I have a guaranteed ambush, which would give me plus 20% damage, which might be good for the boss. But I don't want the, I'm surprised with this group wouldn't be horrible. Because Yugi can Mountain Breaker once if not twice. Huanqi just uses Asia Dragon Claw to get in front. As long as Helker isn't in 4, we're fine, and if he is in 4, I guess I can't use Protection Detail, and of course he can pretty much do whatever. And either way, it's a 4 or a 3 cost. Screw it, Demon Festival. We are going to Coven Tactics for the dodge, speed, crit damage. That gives me 7. So what I think I should do is Sharpen Claw for the crit and the damage, because Huanqi can do a bunch of damage. That leaves me with 3. So I can Dark Strength Yugi. Now I have 1. Which I can get stressed down with Reminisce. Let's see how bad this is. All things considered, not horrible. Asia Dragon Claw. 1 down. Got the extra action. I'm going to mark the one in back. So minus, I was hoping to minus dodge on it. Asia Dragon Claw 1 again. Ah, it missed. Mountain Breaker forward. Lightning Hands. Eagle Eye just for the accuracy because Huanqi already missed.
Inspiration.
Moving forward.
And improvement.
That wasn't horrible.
This expedition at least promises success.
This should give me extra food.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy.
Trying to make sure I'm topped up for the boss. Hi, cultists. How you doing? Do not pull Corsi. I do not want him pulled. You pricks. Well, Ascension on the other cultist. Or rather, the other witch. If I crit, I take out the cultist champion in 2. Let's see. We're gonna mark 1. That way I can Lightning Hands it, and then move forward with Helker. Obliterating 2. Satisfying Crunch, I tell ya. Helker moves forward after that. Marking the other witch, and that was a miss. We are going to Raptorial here.
A decisive pummeling.
And now the witch is alone in 1. Or 2 rather, but regardless, they're down. Taking what we can.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
I'm gonna take the emerald here. Getting towards the tail end, so I don't think I need as much food.
Glittering gold.
I say as that happens.
Baubles, paid for in blood.
I don't want to get rid of the Laudanum just because I might be able to get more out of that. I didn't realize I had the gold stack there. That works. I'll come back for that. Vuln Hex. Let's go anti-lowering dodge. That's a big ol' whiff. Ascension takes him out. Almost. Darn. Okay. Stress? Horror. Okay.
Festering
Not bad.
fear consumes the mind.
So I can Mountain Breaker and do a lot to the Plow Horse. Possibly taking it out. Let's do that.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade.
Was that your nose? Probably was to the horse, if I'm being honest. There's the ante. Just doggo left. Let's up our accuracy. And then Raptorial on him. Get the reflect, get the riposte, then obliterate doggo.
Powerful blow.
Those crits, man.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Why must you taunt me? This was one of my favorite trinkets for the Plague Doctor in my last estate, because unfriendly skill, restoration 3 for a 2. That means when you use battlefield medicine, you essentially do a restoration for, or a heal for 6. This combined with another trinket was making the Plague Doctor one of my best healers. I love this trinket and I can't use it. Why must you taunt me? Vintage, you're taunting me. Alright, there's the boss. I'm not gonna take it just because I want to use it so badly and I can't. Ah, man, I miss Birdman. I miss Birdman. I hope they're doing well wherever they are. Alright, time warp to Miller. We will Towering Presence once they start blocking. Which will pretty much be after this farm hand. I might be able to obliterate it before they freeze it. That might get rid of my mark on it. That does get rid of my mark on it. Shame. And now I can't use guards either. Interesting. Okay. So up accuracy on Huanqi as a just in case. Raptorial. Now we have 2 riposts. So I can get rid of the crystallized farmhand. Then actually what I'm going to do is get a 3rd riposte going with Feign Retreat. That was the wrong move. Vuln Hex on him. Go riposts. Holy cow. Lightning Hands. Raptorial.
Singular strike.
I don't believe in warning shots, nor should you. Obliterating. I know I'm not doing as much damage because I didn't use Inexorable, but he's almost down.
The abyss returns even the bold.
If I Ascension, he goes down and we get a buff. There we go. Take the Comet Shards. Got a full stack.
Push on to the task.
More than a full stack. I didn't use the red seals like I intended to, so I'm just gonna dump them. I do not need the shovel, so we'll take those for the blueprint. I don't need the memory. Looks like we're fully scouted. I don't need the skeleton key, so I'll take the busts. And I don't need the rusted harpoon. I don't need the drifter buckle. Once again, where I'm at with the estate, the only thing I need the memories for would be the district that gives me the ability to not get hunger checks, which for a normal estate actually might be a good thing. Just taking into consideration that hunger checks are a way for me to heal past the fact of, like, if I wanted to heal going into this boss, what I could do is kind of keep walking back and forth until I get hunger checks. I kind of want hunger checks. So I'm gonna not take the memory because they're not too useful to me at this point. But for a normal estate, that is something that I've always wanted. And the Koala's Creature Collection, Color of Madness, and some of the other stuff that I have on this estate now make that viable to get, because that's something I've actually never gotten in a timely fashion on a normal estate, and I'm kind of astounded at how many memories I've gotten. I love it. I love it so much, and it's just kind of hard-hitting to me now that, like, the one time I've gotten it is on an estate where it's actually not useful. So quest complete. I'm going to go and finish things up here, because we can get more, like, comet shards. Not to say that this isn't a lot, but I can get more.
If only treasure could.
I'll actually take the
stop
deeds of the
flow.
crusts.
Otherworldly corruption.
Then we'll just go up and around there. Here we go. More crusts. 160 so far. This is where the keys would have been useful, but that's fine. De-stress a tad with the trap right here. I'm actually going to heal up, because we have the food for it before we go into a fight. Yeah, I was kind of expecting the fight somewhere with the Mildred or the farmer's wife, Miller's wife, but it doesn't look like she's going to pop up anywhere. I was trying to get the grave robber down. Oh well. He's marks, so I think lightning hands might take it down. We're gonna obliterate the shepherd, because doing enough damage to the shepherd will make it do damage to everything else here. Okay.
Injury.
I just want to point out the fact that I'm not crazy. A few episodes ago, might have been more than a few, I pointed out the fact that the mercenary grave robber was flashing purple at a certain point. You notice how it's not flashing purple? If anything, it's flashing kind of a teal this time. I think it's based on whatever buff it gives itself, because you'll see plus damage if below HP below 33%, plus crit if HP below 33%, plus stun and stun resistance. I think the color it flashes is based on the buff it gives itself. I don't have enough data to oh, it doesn't have that mark anymore. Whoops. I don't have... Oh, I went at the wrong one, doy. I don't have the data to, like, show that right now, but I think that's how it is. Alright, Sleeper Shepherd should
The blood quickens.
shatter. If we roll in Hex Descendant, we should be fine. So I think it even damages itself, yeah? No, just the other two. Gotcha. And it de-stresses me. That one I did not know.
Confusion. Nerves.
So taking him out. We are going to Abyssal Artillery, both of them. Claw the Farmhand. Or Ascension the Farmhand, rather. Then we'll just Towering Presence up our damage. And then yell very loudly at them. Hey, high roll dice for the Jester.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a
I didn't even use the
and
torches,
insidious
so
killer.
we'll take the high roll dice. Finale does plus 100% crit, plus crits received on the Jester, and then friendly skill buffs the party for plus 4 crit. Be a fun way of using them. Like all the plus crit you can imagine. I didn't use the Holy Waters either. Just because we're probably going to find something in here. Last one of these. 19 more. So effectively we got 180 shards out of this run, which is amazing. And not to say we won't get more out of the 2 battle rooms here, but... So we can't get rid of a quirk because I just got... Unless they drop a load on them, but that is fine. So let's Claw the Harbinger. It pretty much goes down no matter what. We are going to Inexorable Advance, getting rid of it, marking Yugi so she does more damage and has her riposte. We're going to Vuln Hex the Ante. How do we keep missing that 92%? Up Yugi's accuracy. Then Nature the Crusader. Well, at least they buffed themselves. We'll try for this again. Collateral Dimension. Oh, that's the plus 20 guard roll or plus 20 dodge while guarding, and then guarding both of them. Lovely. So I can probably take him out with Claw if I actually hit. I am mistaken. %100% hit chance. Then we're gonna go at the Hound. I think the Hound is more dangerous than the Crusader.
Death
Ouchie.
waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
And I believe the Hound goes kaboom on his turn, so we want him gone. And then we're gonna lower the dodge on their Crusader if I can. There we go. And then lower his protection. Up the damage he receives. And Raptorial. Anti-Venom. And Obliterate. Oh, that was an Obliterate, alright. Pure Chalice for the Vestal.
Brought low and driven into the mud.
Plus 10 accuracy, plus 3 damage on ranged skills. Judgment does plus 1 healing done, not that it's going to be healing me. Can take the portraits here. I can get rid of the bandages. I can get rid of the anti-venom. I'm going to pop the holy water. I'm going to follow party order. And we're going to go to the last fight. I mean, I do realize there's one more fight down here, but I'm probably not going to go back down to it. Hey! Bandits, how you doing? Advancing, getting the mark, getting the riposte. Because Fusili are there. We are going to Volnhex the Bloodletter. Lower his dodge. Mark him so I can do everything.
Impressive.
Well, he just got smacked into oblivion. Good job, Yugi. Age of Dragon Claw Bloodletter. So I want to know how this one works. Does he just pop out of the shadows, shoot his gun, and then Yugi, seeing the gunshot, like the flash from the muzzle, literally just run up to him and smack the ever-living heck out of him before he fades back into the shadow, and then he's going, I'm not doing that again. I ain't doing that again. So, Lightning Hands, Raptorial, he's down.
Monster's size has
And when you pop back out of the shadows there, buddy.
unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Time to make a mistake, huh?
Be wary.
Alright, taking the Sapphire, taking the portraits.
A dizzying fall.
We'll take the deeds. I can stack some deeds. There we go. Taking the emeralds. Anything else I can stack up? Anything else not looking correct here? Nah, I think everything else is stacked correctly. Alright, we'll leave all that then. Quest complete. A lot of heirlooms once again. Can almost finish up my districts then, I think. I'm pretty close to it. And we get the Miller's Scythe and all that jazz. Last Miller. 30 more Comet Shards just for completing that on top of the 180. So we got like 200, meaning I can get the Twisted Funnel for the Silent just from the one run. Only 16,750 gold. Or, yeah, 16,750 gold. Once again, Miller's Scythe, Hero's Ring, 20 crests, 16 deeds, 8 portraits, 4 busts, and a blueprint. Everyone hit level 6 who wasn't, which was Wonky Yugi. Tetanus on Yugi, Impermutable. Got that on 2 people. Diphtheria on a Hwanki as well. On Guard, which is amazing for Corsi. I'm going to be locking that in. Plus 4 speed, plus 5 dodge on the first round.
Woe to the sheep.
Uh-oh.
Or does the absence of the shepherd not invite the wolves?
Absent Abbot. Abbot has quested himself in the wine cellar with a lot of words there. Transept is locked. Cloister and Penance Hall cost 50% less. So, stress healing people is going to be a thing, but disease there. Disease here. Of course, he had the On Guard, and I'm going to get rid of Torn Rotator while I'm at it. We have stress to do, so Lilia. That's not as bad. I thought the Cloister was the meditation one, my bad. But still, Transept locked. And Para can go in here. Anything at the Nomad Wagon. There's another thing for the curse. So Gillian Cocktail Splash now applies Blight, plus 10% chance per skill. I've been looking for that one ever since I saw it a while back. I need to do more Farmstead to get the prize, I think. But the Destroyer from the Stars is here. Which is kind of funny that he's here and not the actual prize from the Stars. The Trapped Onabi does this exact same thing, or not the exact same thing, but pretty much the same thing as... Oh, I'm about to make a very bad mistake. So, I have the Tattered Parasol, plus 20% dodge, plus 20% dodge in the Sunward Isles. There's the Trapped Onabi, which does plus 20% dodge, plus 20% dodge when attacked by yokai. So effectively, they do almost the same thing. If we are using them for the same thing, just effectively in the Sunward Isles. But this starts a series of events I really didn't want to start yet. I believe that I don't need to take on the army that's marching at me until I'm ready. It's not like if I don't do it right away, the army of yokai destroys districts and stuff like that, or part of the hamlet. So I think I can go do this, because the options are level up the Sunward Isles, which I don't like the trinket there, go do a boss, which I don't like the trinket from any of these, go do this destroyer from the stars, which is, while the heirloom or the trophy you get from him is amazing, I'm not sure we can do that, or get a trophy or a trinket I actually want from the Sunward Isles. And the only reason I've been putting this off is I didn't feel ready to do the whole night parade thing. But hear me out here. I think this portion of the quest is very doable. It's the subsequent parts of it that I didn't think were doable for me. But I don't think I have to do those immediately. So I think I'm gonna go do this, with the thought of maybe I don't have to do the subsequent ones hopefully right away. That's gonna be the hope, and we're just gonna see what happens. It's gonna have to play that way, and we'll go with that, and hopefully I don't get utterly obliterated. I don't actually know the team I'm gonna be bringing there, but it's probably going to be another dodge team, because those have been working so well in the Sunward Isles, and we'll go with that and see just what I can do. So that will be it for this time. Next time, going to fight the fortified Tori and Orochi, which if you know what's there, you know what's there, and you know why I'm avoiding it. And we'll see what happens afterward, and I'll live with the consequences of my actions. So that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz, and otherwise, as always, wish you all well. I will see you next time, and please, have a good one.